Hi, I'm Dr. Patrick Bigaouette. I'm here today with Dr. Lisa Hardesty, and we are both from Mayo Clinic Health System here in Mankato. And today we're going to be talking about anxiety in child and adolescents. And I think before we start, it's important to recognize that, we are human, we have emotions, and anxiety is an emotion. From an evolutionary standpoint, we want to have anxiety because it helped us escape danger. Now we want anxiety in certain situations. Like if I were to cross a street, I want to look both ways and have the anxiety of, not being hit by a car so that I can maintain my safety as I'm crossing the street. And so I think a big goal for us today is and we're going to talk about anxiety, what's normal anxiety, what's abnormal anxiety, and when to seek services and how to treat that anxiety. If I were a parent and my child was maybe struggling with anxiety, how do I differentiate between what is considered maybe normal anxiety or worry and what anxiety symptoms would be more concerning where I should be seeking treatment for my child?
All kids, adolescents have normal fears. And as you mentioned, right, much of this is within that normal curve. Younger kids, it's very normal for them to have fears of the dark, fears of disasters happening, or to think about life and death if they lose a family member, for instance. In our adolescent population, our older children, we often see fear of being liked, fear of performance. I have to say this speech in front of my 7th grade class, and then we start to see more anxieties and fears. Again, very normal. When we start to see what we would think of as rumination, or constantly bringing it up. So your 4-year-old is asking you about, well, if the fire happened and then the fire behind the fire happened, but then there was another fire, we start to hear a little bit of overthinking. And we know that that child is really overthinking to the degree that it might become an anxiety disorder. When we become very concerned is when we start to see it impacting their functioning. So that kid that used to go to school readily is now saying, I have a headache or a stomach ache. Or your adolescent is fighting with you every single morning and saying, fine, I'm just staying home. And they're going back to bed, and you realize this is becoming a pattern. That's when we become a little bit more concerned about the clinical impact or importance of those symptoms.
So feeling anxious is okay and normal, but feeling anxious to the point where it's really persistent, it's happening all the time, it's starting to impact relationships or school or functioning at all would be maybe more concerning where I'd want to seek treatment from a child.
Correct. Well said.